Hey everybody, it's Wes with Fundamental Games, bringing you today another Kickstarter campaign review. Today I'm talking about Spires End Hildegard. So this is not really an expansion, but another game series in the same vein as the original Spires End. Now this creator, I believe his name is here somewhere. Let's find out. I was right there. Greg Favreau. He only has one other Kickstarter created, and that Kickstarter is the original Spires End. So if you check out Spires End, a solo and cooperative card game adventure, I talked about it a few episodes ago on my Fun in 5 sharing a tabletop simulator version that I played, which is not official, by the way. I just happened to see that. I don't know if it's offline now. But anyway, Spires End gives you an opportunity to play a hero in this big deck of cards and kind of choose your own adventure / dice rolling fantasy adventure in a box. And it did quite well. I mean, $76,000 raised as a first project is pretty cool. Over 2,500 backers on that project. But Greg wanted to do something different, and he brought one of the characters from Spires End into almost a prequel version of themselves, I believe it is, in Hildegard. Hildegard is the name of this character here. So, all that being said, $150,000 raised or more, over 3,500 backers, more than they had in the first campaign, and still 21 days to go. This campaign is doing extremely well, and I couldn't be more happy for Greg. I think he's done a really good job at just kind of sticking to what he believes in, the kind of game that he wanted to make, the art that he wanted to share, and just really, really great creation that he has here. So, 5 things that I like about this campaign. First off is that Greg ignores common conventions. Now, I am a stickler for what works best in the Kickstarter world, so I always get a video. I always have a shot of my game on the table. I always have a price early in the flow of things. I try to avoid walls of text. Greg almost flips it upside down. So you can see here, no video to watch. So the intro video you're normally used to pressing doesn't exist. You just see a very basic visual of the box and 2 cards. Really good pictures, the crows and the scarecrow and Hildegard herself. And the pictures themselves interest me. They make me want to click. And that's really what the video is about, is make you interested so you'll click and scroll more. The picture alone does that. And I think Greg Favreau decided that it wasn't worth his time or money to create a video as the opening part of his game, and it's worked well for him. And going into that, ignoring common conventions, you can see here, normally when you scroll through the first couple scrolls, you'll see the game spread out on the table, and you'll see a price on there. All you have here is a picture of Hildegard, and 1-2 player, 12 and up, 2 to 3 hours. That's it, a brief description of the game, but then there you have it, is a wall of text. And most creators try to avoid that wall because people are more attracted to pictures than reading. But considering the game has a lot of reading to it, if you're going to want to like the game, you're going to want to like reading, and maybe that's part of why the description of the game is mostly in words here. And then he brings it into the premise of the game and the game concepts. So I think that is pretty neat how he was able to ignore all the most popular things that you should do in a Kickstarter. I mean, if you watched videos, there's a great one that Jeremy Howard and Alex Radcliffe did together talking about the things that you should expect to see in a Kickstarter, and Greg ignores a lot of those, but it's still done well. And so it just goes to show you, if you do it the right finesse, the right panache, you can still have a very successful Kickstarter with bringing your own thing to the table. So that's the first thing I like about this campaign. Second thing I like about it is that the pledge options are also very, very basic. I always like it when I can go into pledge options and I don't have to scroll through 17 different options. So here, there is the usual pledge without a reward that Kickstarter always throws in there. There is the basic pledge, so getting a copy of Spires End Hildegard, $40, no huss, no muss, no fuss. You just pay shipping after the fact. And then after that, he has 2 more pledges, both of which are all gone, by the way. He put limited quantities and they're all gone. But the second one was just a bundle with the original game, so he must be sold out of the original game and doesn't want to have to order or produce new ones that could backlog the funding of this game or backlog the shipping of this game. So he used the resources he already had available. Those are sold out, and it looks like 50 backers got the Grey Oaks bundle that has that. And then the third one was a $200 artisan bundle, and that came with original artists components in there, as well as Spires End, and that had 3 backers. Only 3 backers allowed for that $200 bundle. So the rest are all in this $40 pledge. So 3,377 backers just for the original game. Fantastic, and just the options in there are very, very simple. So you don't have to think a whole lot about what pledge will I pick. It's either I pledge without a reward or I buy the game. One or the other. Very simple. Third thing I like about this is the game mechanics of Spires End itself. So if we scroll through a bit, he does get to the mechanics after the wall of text and the pictures and the premise, but here you go. You are navigating your way through a series of cards. At the bottom of every card you have choices. It might be a choice of locations, what to say, how to role play per se via the cards, and the choice that you make will have you pick a card that's numbered out of a deck of cards, and then you pull and read that card. You just keep progressing through these different decks of cards and such to decide what you want to do. So you can see here, pull cards 88, 89, and 90, and then go somewhere. So navigation becomes more involved as the story progresses. There's different places that you can go based on the cards, and it's a choose your own path. But he says here, a traditional game book that's ripped apart, distilled, and reassembled into a deck of cards. So he classifies it as a game book / card game hybrid. And when I played Spires End, the original, it is very much like that. What's the interesting part is even the rule book in the original Spires End was the deck. You read through pages or cards of rules, and then you had cards of characters, and then you had cards of monsters, and then you had the deck itself of the adventure. So that was really neat in the original, and this concept goes along a similar regard. You have targets or enemies that you may have to defeat or outwit. You might have face-offs against special characters using dice. Or you might play cooperatively. So the mechanics in here look like they're very well refined. And if we just scroll down a bit past the stretch goals, the components of the game. So the game itself is really just 400 cards, 12 dice, a rule book, and some cubes. But the core of the game is those 400 cards. And so it's kind of neat that the game mechanic has you float through those different things. You can see here there's a begin here, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then chapter 3, Sea Crest Cliffs. Ooh, sounds ominous there. So there you have it. That is the third thing that I like, is the game mechanics. Definitely watch some of the videos. Quackalope has one on here, or 2 on here. You can see here another Tabletop Upgrades has a video on here. So he does have some videos, but just doesn't make it dominant at the top of the page. All right, fourth thing I like is the transparency of the game progress. So some games you don't know, are the rules done? Is the art done? Are all the cards done? Don't really know in some games. In this one, Greg puts it very well together in this infographic here. So what's been done and what's left to do. And he even has little indicators. So red means 75 to 100% complete, so pretty much done. 25 to 75% complete means it started, not quite finished, and then basically not started yet is less than 25%. So you can see here the writing for chapters 1 to 4, about half of them are done, and the design for chapters 1 to 4, half of them are done. And then art for chapters 1 to 4, only a small portion done. That's why you only see a little bit of art in this game, but he does have a well established artist that he's willing to pay, and I'm sure with all the funding that he got for this game, that will be writing a big check to the artist so they can get all the beautiful cards illustrated to make this game possible. And then editing, packaging, and rulebook. The rulebook is ready to read. So I like it. It's very clear what's happening on the game there, and why it might take until July of next year to get this made, because there's a lot of work left to do. But the important part is that he's built a game called Spires End, did really, really well with it, and I think this one will be very much in the same vein, that it'll get received well and sold very well. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about this campaign are the risks and challenges. You can see the creator there, Greg. You can see the illustrator, Diego. You can see who it's edited by and other illustrations, shipping, yada, yada, yada. But as we get into here, risks and challenges. So some people just put a common copy and paste here. I like it when the creator, especially an independent creator like Greg, tells a little bit about himself or his history. So hello, here I'm at round 2. I'm a little older, a little wiser. I feel I have a much better grasp on what crowdfunding means and what's expected of him as a creator. There's pitfalls out there. He learned a hell of a lot from round 1. And so he talks about locked-in stretch goal plans, no extra bells and whistles. He talks about production, talks about card size, going from the big size down to poker size, which really helps with cost control and spreading that cost to you to be able to sell a game of 400 cards. Making them the same size as original Spires End would have been really expensive, so you can see here it makes it much better for the game. So I like that he was transparent about risks and challenges, really told what he learned from the first one, what he applied to the second one, and what worked and what didn't work with his last Kickstarter. So there you have it. Again, Spires End doing really, really well. I foresee this campaign doing over $300,000 by the time the campaign ends. I think just based on its current trajectory, I think it's going to see a nice spike at the end with a lot of last-minute backers. And if any more videos get out about this, I think it'll just continue to catch fire like it has. So if you've backed it or you're just learning about it and liked what I've talked about, by all means, put something in the comments. Like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do with YouTube videos. I'm just happy that you had a chance to listen and see Spires End Hildegard. Take care. Thank you for watching.